Well, here I am in what used to be one of the scariest places in the church building. The crawl space used to always be flooded out, and one year when I was working down here many years ago, we got back in there and found a family of feral cats living back there. You want to talk about scary? Try being caught in a crawl space with a bunch of feral cats roaming around without you. I was thinking about fear just the other day, reading in my devotional time in Exodus, and you'll remember the story that Moses meets God at the burning bush, and he's afraid to go, and God says, "I'm going to give you some power." He said, "What's that you have in your hand?" And it's just this stick, and God says, throw the stick down, and the stick becomes a snake. And one thing that I hadn't really noticed before is in verse 3. So Moses threw the stick on the ground, and it became a snake. Moses ran away from the snake. I hadn't considered that, this whole thing about fear. We've all, I'm sure, heard messages about God using the things in our hand, a stick and so on, to achieve his purposes. But I hadn't considered this thing that Moses was afraid of the stick and what God was doing with the things that he had. How many times have I been afraid of God using what's in my hand? God flowing through some of the ordinary things of my life. And so I journaled on it, as you know, when I think about these things, and I put this. It can be a scary thing to think that you want to flow through the ordinary things of my life. Job, neighborhood, relationships, house, car, money, if you have a boat or a barbecue. On the positive side, there's the positive side of the fear of the Lord, the idea of being in the presence of God Almighty, sort of like Peter when he said, "Go away from me, Lord, for I'm a sinful man. I'm just overwhelmed by your power and your majesty and your goodness." And that kind of scary, that kind of fear can be a positive fear. On the other hand, there might be the fear of loss, which is not such a positive fear. Loss of control. Maybe this snake is going to consume me. Maybe if I give this thing over to God, it's going to take over my life, and I'm not going to be the one to say and to do and to run with what happens with my life and the things in my hand. God might take me into a different direction than I thought I was going to go. Or it might be the fear and resentment of the loss for personal use. A house that ends up full of foster children. A yard full of neighbors I don't know all that well. A vehicle damaged by a borrower. A relationship demanding more than I think I can give. Lord, help me not to run away when you ask me to throw down for your use the stick that's in my hand. May I never, ever be afraid to do that because of the loss it may bring to me.